Hi, everybody. So this lecture is basically just to say welcome to 346 for summer session one. I'm very happy that you've chosen to take this course, and I'm really looking forward to what should be a fairly rigorous and intensive, but also hopefully a very rewarding semester. This is the second part of the two-part Shakespeare courses, and this one covers tragedies and romances. So basically, our course begins with plays starting around 1603, which is actually the same year that King James was succeeded the throne after the death of Queen Elizabeth. And we're focusing specifically on tragedies and romances. Romance being a sort of a kind of tragic comedy, right? It's a play with a lot of tragic potential, but that nevertheless concludes with a happy ending. So thematically, tonally, subject matter wise, it sort of blends tragedy and comedy. We're reading 5 plays over the course of 6 weeks. The last week is devoted to basically preparing for what will be the final exam. So for the rest of this video, I just want to go through a few things on the syllabus. So, like I said, we're reading 5 plays over 6 weeks. We're reading Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, The Winter's Tale, and The Tempest. 3 tragedies, 2 romances, all of which can be found in the incredibly long and incredibly compact the Norton anthology, the Norton Shakespeare, right? This is a really excellent text with a lot of really helpful notes, introductions, a general introduction from Stephen Greenblatt, plus an introduction for each of the plays and each of the works. And so I had you get this text because, cost-wise, it seemed to be fairly affordable, and also because it's incredibly comprehensive in everything that it has. And I just think if this for English majors should know their Shakespeare, and this is a great text to have to that end. So make sure that when you're reading the plays and when you're doing the assignments, when you're citing the plays, make sure that everything comes from this edition, because not all editions of Shakespeare are alike. They're all editions are based on a number of different source texts. So it's important that you use this edition, the Norton Shakespeare, which the ISBN number you can find on the syllabus. So there's a total of 6 learning modules, so each learning module for every week. And if you go to our Blackboard page, you can find learning modules on the left-hand column, and that's where you can find literally everything. You can find the lectures, video lectures, or lecture notes for each week. You can find the discussion board posts for each week, and you can also find the assignments for each week. So pretty much everything that you need you can find in the on the learning modules tab. So that's basically where you're going to spend the most of your time as you navigate everything that the course has to offer. Pretty much all of the readings, all the plays, everything is going to come from the anthology. I may upload some additional things, basically just resources that you can or you may or may not use, depending on your at your own discretion, right? The only required readings are the general introduction to the Norton and the plays themselves, and then, like I said, I may upload some additional sources and resources for you to take a look at at your own leisure and convenience. This is a pretty compressed course, so we're basically covering a semester's worth of material over the course of 6 weeks. The last week, like I said, is devoted strictly to preparing for the final exam, so there aren't any assigned readings for that week. But to maximize your potential for success in this course, I think it's important to devote roughly between 15 and 20 hours a week to, watching any video lectures, reading lecture notes, reading the plays themselves, taking notes, completing assignments, completing discussion board posts, because, like I said, there's a lot of material that we're trying to cover in a short space of time, and that requires a significant time commitment from you and from me. So if we both hold up to our end of the bargain, we should have a really good semester. Um, Communication wise, I'll post announcements on Blackboard when need be, and those will go directly to your email. You should also be checking the Blackboard page on a regular basis. Office hours, I will hold office hours by appointment only via Zoom. So just if you want to talk to me about an assignment, or if you have questions, or if you need help with something, you please email me. Try to make sure that what you are asking about isn't already covered in the syllabus. But if you do have a question that isn't covered in the syllabus, email me and I will reply in 24 hours. We can also settle any issues you have over email if you prefer. Like I said, I tend to reply fairly quickly to emails. You can also use the general questions discussion board thread to post questions and concerns that you feel the whole class should be aware of. But if you have a personal issue or a personal problem with something that you need to talk to me about, that's obviously something we should discuss one-on-one, either through email or over Zoom. So yeah, so make sure you check the Blackboard course page regularly, and make sure that you check your Stony Brook email regularly, because if I post an announcement, it's going to go on the Blackboard page, but also onto your email. So please check those things to make sure that you're keeping up to date with everything. So as far as grading is concerned, you have four major. I mean, really, the way I've broken down the grading is the four major components of the course. Blackboard assignments. So for the first 5 weeks, so with the exception of week 6, you will participate in 2 discussion forums each week. I will ask you a question about, usually I have it broken up where the first part of the week you're reading the first 3 acts of a play, and the second part you're reading the last 2. Each post you'll respond with roughly a 200-word response to a question or a prompt of my devising. And you also have to respond to your peers, and just a few sentences for your response to peers, thoughtfully, obviously, but that's more than sufficient. The first post for the week will be due Thursday at midnight, and the second post will be due Sunday at midnight. I leave a little bit of flexibility because I recognize that some may post their response early and they won't have any other posts to respond to. So make sure that all the assignments and everything for the week are completed by Sunday at midnight, the latest, if you want to receive credit for it. Okay, so just have that be the hard and fast deadline. I'm not going to grant requests for extensions for discussion board posts. Just make sure that everything that you want to be graded for is finished by the end of the week. So Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Everything must be done if you want to get some kind of a grade for it. And at the end of the course, so that'll be 2 posts a week throughout, and that's 25% of your grade, so a quarter. And then the other quarter, you're doing a passage analysis. So you're doing a close reading of a specific passage from one of the plays. Most of you have taken 204, so you should know how to do a passage explication, a literary analysis. Basically, make it straightforward to the point. State an argument about the passage in the text. Cite the text directly, right? Citations for Shakespeare plays, act, scene, line number. Make sure you're using the addition, and keep it concise. Anchor your claims in text. Don't give me plot summary. Don't give me historical generalizations. Don't give me a lot of throat clearing, building up. Just get right to your argument and get right to the text. A good way to format your writing about the text is what a professor described to me as assert, cite, explain. So you make some sort of a claim and assertion, you cite the text that helps you prove that assertion, and then you spend the rest of the paper analyzing it, right? And you can, analyze word choice, you can analyze particular phrases, you can analyze the meter, right? Shakespeare's plays consist of a mixture of blank verse, so unrhymed iambic pentameter, and also you may find couplets, right? and he even uses sonnets in some of his plays. I don't believe in any of the ones that you're reading, and also prose, right? So unmetered, just regular prose. And the assignments that I ask you to do may vary. I may give you a you know pictures of different source texts for you to analyze or compare. So the assignments will be based on obviously the reading that you've done up until that point. So if you read and you take notes, you will be more than prepared to participate meaningfully in the discussion board posts, and also more than prepared to do a really good passage analysis. And I'll also allow you to revise the passage analysis. So if you don't do too well on that, you can submit a revision later on in the term. And then there's a performance review, which I hope will be really fun. So you'll review a tape theatrical production or a film adaptation of one of the plays that we're reading, and you'll consider the choices that the actors make, the directors make, how it's staged, where it's set, use of props, lighting, costumes, all that sort of thing. I'll also provide you some examples of performance reviews, and I'll put those in the course documents page, so you can keep an eye out for those. And I'll send out an announcement about when they're available and how you can find them. And then there's the final exam. So I chose not to have you guys do a research paper because it's just I don't think you have really enough time to develop a really solid research paper. So a final exam I think is more appropriate given the format. And you have the final week to prepare for it, and really the whole semester to prepare for it. And that's also worth 25%. So every major component of this course is worth 25%. And I'll give you 3 essay prompts. You answer 2 of them, and you'll also answer 5 short response questions, right? So those will usually be text specific. They may also ask you questions about early modern drama and the history. So that's why it's really important for you to watch my lecture on the Age of Shakespeare, and also to read the general introduction to the Norton, written by Stephen Greenblatt, who does a great job of really giving you a nice comprehensive overview of the time period, the history, the politics, the economics, and also the structures of the play companies, the audience, and all that sort of stuff. The history of it's a social and political history of early modern drama. So any questions on the final will come from either my lecture, the plays themselves, or the edition, the Nortons. I'm not going to ask you anything that isn't covered in one of those places. So that pretty much covers the major stuff. The lecture notes and the discussion points I put on the syllabus will give you sort of a sense of what to look out for as you read the play, and all of that stuff will be available on Monday mornings at 8 o'clock, and as will the discussion board post prompts themselves. So you'll have ample time to read the lectures, read the prompts, kind of know what you're looking for, and then read the plays themselves. So you should have plenty of time to be able to do that. I can't stress this enough. Pretty much every semester up until this point, and I've only been teaching for a few years, I have cases of plagiarism for classes designed for both majors and non-majors, and it's something I know what to look for, and I don't tolerate. And that's not to say that all cases of plagiarism are alike, and that it's all a malicious attempt to get one over on me. I understand these are very stressful times, and people have other obligations, and maybe they try to get away with something because they're just too stressed for time. And also, given that we're reading Shakespeare's plays, some people may have a hard time, really comprehending the material, right? All of those things can be rectified if you contact me, if you email me and say, I'm really struggling with deadlines. I'm really struggling with the plays themselves. I'm having a hard time writing responses. All of that stuff, if you email me and we can discuss it, we can find ways and strategies to make sure that you can overcome all of that and do really well in the course, right? So I'm available to you. I'm more than willing to help you with any issues that you have throughout the semester. But if you decide to try to pass off somebody else's work as your own, especially for big assignments, that is something I will not tolerate. But The other part of that is that I am here for you. I'm available to you if you need help, or if you need an extension on a major assignment. I will grant you an extension for good reason, right? So I am a resource for you, and I am willing to help you with any issues that you have over the course of the term. So, make sure that you do the work honestly. Make sure that you do the work on time. Make sure that you ask me any questions that you have about the assignments if you have them, right? If you need assistance, I will help you. We can schedule office hours, talk over email, whatever you need. And so just transparency and keeping me informed if you're having issues and asking questions if you're having issues, all of that I think will allow us all to have a really good summer session. So, check the Blackboard page, check your emails, keep an eye out for announcements, and do the reading on time, and try to keep up with the structure of the course, and email me if you have any issues, and hopefully we can have a rewarding semester. And again, thank you for choosing Shakespeare 2, the tragedies and romances, and I hope you enjoy the reading, and good luck, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.